Namaste and welcome. I am Pratim Ranjan Bose and you are listening to my podcast Perspective. In this episode, I'll share my views on why India must go for a second edition of the pension reforms to strengthen the market linked National Pension System or NPS and make it mandatory for all government employees from the center to the states. In early 2022, a desperate Indian National Congress devised what they thought a magic mantra to win elections. They dumped the 2004 pension reforms for government employees in party ruled Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. The defined contribution based market linked pension scheme or NPS was replaced by the defined benefit pay commission linked old pension scheme or OPS with retrospective effect. Since then, Congress ruled Himachal Pradesh and JMM led Jharkhand, where Congress is a coalition partner, reintroduced old pension scheme. Aam Aadmi Party and Congress promised rollback of the reforms in Punjab and Karnataka but yet to implement the same. Government employees, including their families, contribute barely 5% population of states. The futility of the rollback of a critical reform for such a minuscule and privileged section was amply proved during the recent round of state elections. Congress lost both Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's BJP, which opposed the anti-reform move, won both the states. Ideally, that should create a consensus among political parties to avoid this suicidal path. Aam Aadmi Party and Congress may now soft pedal on OPS implementation in Punjab and Karnataka. But that may not be sufficient to seal the deal conclusively in favor of the pension reforms. The primary task is to take the four states Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, and Himachal, which implemented OPS between 2022 and 2023, back to NPS. This is theoretically easy. With NPS infrastructure in place and the legacy contributions locked with the central authorities, pension accounts can go live by a simple executive order. States can deposit the contributions for the paused period to the National Pension System Trust to square up the accounts. However, in practice, any such remigration to market linked pension would not be easy, mostly for political reasons. Both Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh rolled back pension reforms at the beginning of 2022-23 fiscal year. Over the last 1.5 years, they expanded OPS benefits to lakhs of employees in quasi-government organizations like universities, corporations, boards, etc. In Rajasthan, over 1400 employees who joined service after 2004, that is when the NPS came into effect, and retired after April 2022, when the state exited NPS, were granted pension under OPS. Also, some post 2004 recruits who retired between 2004 and 2022 had refunded the NPS benefits to avail of OPS. It means the lobby for OPS is now much bigger than it was in Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. More importantly, such a roller coaster on as touchy issue as pension should not be liked by anyone. Naturally, return to market linked reforms will face maximum resistance from both the states. It is not clear how the dice will roll. However, one can safely assume that it would be extremely courageous for the new pro-reform BJP governments in Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh to announce remigration to NPS on their own ahead of the 2024 Lok Sabha election. Ideally, everyone should wait for a divine intervention from the federal government to clear the mess. For the federal government, the task at hand is to ensure that such a circus is not repeated anytime in the future. The precedence created by Congress is dangerous for the fiscal reforms and may be revived with the change in government. It is also necessary to force states like West Bengal and Tamil Nadu to undergo pension reforms. Tamil Nadu was the first state to get out of the defined benefit OPS in 2003 during the Jayalalitha rule, but they kept the reform half done. In those days, NPS architecture was under construction, and states were allowed to keep the employees' and employers' contributions in personal deposit funds in the treasuries. After the creation of the infrastructure by the Manmohan Singh government, states transferred funds to National Pension System Trust for investment in market-linked instruments. Tamil Nadu avoided depositing the money to National Pension Trust. They used the pension funds to boost their cash flow, known in bureaucratic parlance as ways and means. According to the Comptroller and Auditor General of India, as of 2021 and 22, the funds retained by Tamil Nadu earned 4 to 5% interest from Life Insurance Corporation and Treasury bills. In comparison, professionally driven NPS earned an average of 9.5 to 10%. The CAG held that Tamil Nadu had to pay 2.2% from its pocket to pay General Provident Fund comparable in return of 7.1% to employees. To look at it from the state government's perspective, they enjoyed access to cash at rock bottom interest. Employees are the ultimate losers as they will go home with lower returns than available from NPS. This is a blatant misuse of power by the state to mitigate its poor finance. West Bengal is the worst. The Marxist government of the past denied front-ending pension expenditure and bringing accounts in order. Leftist employees associations were happy to get OPS. The state kept delaying the release of dearness allowances to restrict running expenditures. Employees missed best of either side. The Mamata Banerjee government follows the same policy. To add, the state has almost stopped recruitment. The vacancies are filled by lowly paid contractual staff. Even the sensitive departments are full of them. There are also anomalies in pension contributions by states. Many states like Rajasthan did not abide by the central formula of 14% contribution by the state and 10% by the employees. Media reports claim many states are irregular in depositing contributions to the NPS authorities. To cut the long story short, the NPS story is in a mess. While hapless state employees blame it on the market for insufficient returns, which keeps the myth of OPS alive, the truth might be lying elsewhere. The irresponsible act of Congress and other parties in the hope for votes not only added to the mess but also created an opportunity for a goods and services tax like reform to strengthen the decades-old fiscal and administrative reform agenda. OPS is no solution. It is a threat to the country's fiscal stability. But NPS must be strengthened and should be made mandatory. The question is, who will bail the cat and when? Thank you for listening Perspective. If you like this episode, please share and subscribe. See you next week. फिर मिलेंगे.